Hey, Lowell Bascom here. Thought I'd tell you about my experience in Kiev, Ukraine during the celebration of Women's Day in 2007. Hope you enjoy. While staying in a flat apartment near the Independence Square, the site of the Orange Revolution in 2004, I heard a lot of music and speeches. I looked from behind the curtain and noticed there was no car traffic. There was just some foot traffic, and this is very unusual. I stepped out onto the porch and looked towards Maidan and Independence Squares. There were a bunch of cars backed up to the curb on both sides of the street. This is very unusual. Khreshchetyk is normally a very busy street, so I had to go out and find out what was going on. Hey, how about that VW looking Mercedes with the flames? Isn't that something? In the background, you're looking at the base of the monument on Independence Square. And that semicircle of glass that you see behind the monument is actually the skylight for an underground shopping mall. There is, in fact, an underground passage to the opposite side of Khreshchetyk to the square called Maidan Square, under which there's a two-story shopping mall. One of the things that you might notice in every one of these pictures is that every brand and model of vehicle made in the world is obtainable in Ukraine if you have enough money. Take the one here in the forefront of the picture is a Chrysler Crossfire, again all painted up with the flames. Many of the ladies had their pictures taken standing next to this car. As more people were gathering, I stepped back and took this picture of Independence Square again so that it was possible to see the full length of the monument. And then an all-woman drum corps came marching by. They were pretty good. If you take a look at the building just across the street, you will notice that there are some shops at the street level. This is quite typical in Ukraine. Everything above that is flats or apartments. In fact, it was from our sixth-floor flat in this building that I took the first two shots in this presentation. Well, now I'm standing on Independence Square itself, looking across the top of the crowds towards Maidan Square. The building that takes up, about the two-thirds of the picture is Nadra Bank. As I turn and look more directly at Maidan Square, you'll see that the crowds are growing. If you look at the shapes of the buildings around the square, it might become obvious that there are streets going off in different directions from this square. If you take a careful look at the third building from the left, there's a McDonald's sign. Yep, even in Ukraine, there are McDonald's. Well, okay, finally, the festivities on this particular day began. The cars were provided by various dealers in Kiev. Each car had two ladies in it. The car would come up on the ramp that you see in the foreground of the stage. The announcer would talk about each car, allowing the ladies to make their comments, and provide each lady with a bag of gifts and a rose. Then the car would drive off the stage. So what was this all about? It was a presentation of all the cars that would be ideal for ladies to drive. Fun was had by all. You might notice how everyone was bundled up. The temperature was hovering right near freezing. Another car is presented while people look on. They were watching from various vantage points. Notice some people standing on top of the skylight for the mall? I presume some people were even watching from inside Hotel Ukraine. After all the presentations were made, the policeman had his hands full directing traffic as he tried to get everything back to normal. I hope you've enjoyed this little presentation. I'll be posting it along with some others at www.funinfosite.com as I write about my rants, ramblings, and more. I invite you to stop by and join in with your comments. I look forward to hearing from you and hearing what you have to say, pro or con. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. You have a great day.